book and wonder if the author hid a secret key somewhere in the first few chapters? Well, what if I told you the key to understanding a whole 300-page novel was packed into just a couple of sentences? That's exactly what's going on in Yann Martel's Life of Pi. There's this one beautiful sun-drenched memory that basically holds the blueprint for the entire story. And today, we're gonna unlock it. Okay, so it all kicks off right here. You must imagine. Think about that freezing. He doesn't say there was a hot and humid place. No, he gives us a direct command. He's not just describing a scene, he's literally telling us to build it inside our own heads. Right from the get-go, he's not just telling us a story, he's making us a part of it. So this vibrant, sun-drenched place he's telling us to imagine, it's the Pondicherry Zoo. And this isn't just any memory. It's from way back in chapter 4. This is Pi looking back on his childhood. You know, long before the shipwreck, long before Richard Parker. This was his paradise. Okay, but so what? Why are we spending so much time on this one little idyllic memory? Well, here's the thing. It matters because this isn't just a pretty picture. It's so much more. It's actually a blueprint for the whole novel's big ideas. You know, perspective, reality, and what it actually takes to survive. So yeah, let's break this thing down. All right, first things first, let's really step inside the pages of the book. We're going to experience this place, the Pondicherry Zoo, exactly the way Pi remembers it, using his own words. So the first thing that hits you is just the sheer amount of life everywhere. It's not just, a couple of flower beds. He calls it a riot of flowers. That word just paints a picture, doesn't it? The world is just overflowing with color and energy. It's beautiful, for sure, but there's also a sense that it's a little wild, maybe even a little out of control. And then, right in the middle of all that chaos, a moment of total quiet magic. Suddenly, you're not just a visitor looking in. The animals are quietly looking right back at you. It's this calm, gentle surprise. It completely flips the script on who's watching who. But just as you're soaking in that peaceful moment, bam, that peace is absolutely shattered. That quiet visual of the giraffes gets blasted away by this furious outburst from the monkeys. So right away, we learn this paradise is totally unpredictable. It's alive, it's loud, and it definitely keeps you on your toes. And then he hits us with this line, and it just captures the heart of the whole experience. You are in Zootown. See, for Pi, this isn't just a zoo. It's this magical kingdom, a whole world unto itself. That one little exclamation, that's pure, unfiltered, youthful wonder right there. Okay, so we've had the tour of Zootown. Now let's kind of pull back the curtain and see how it was all built. How does Yann Martel actually do that? How does he construct this world for us, word by word? Let's take a look inside the author's toolkit. So how does he actually create this vivid mood? I mean, how does he make us feel the warmth and the peace of this place right through the page? Let me tell you, it's not an accident. This stuff is carefully built, one word at a time. Just look at the specific details Martel chooses to show us. He's building this incredible mood that's both full of life and deeply peaceful at the same time. You've got the energy of sunshine and bright colors and plants in profusion, but then you also get the total tranquility of men sleeping, stretched out, and the sweet, quiet romance of young couples happening to touch. It's this amazing place that is somehow both exciting and perfectly calm all at once. But what about that other feeling? The one that makes you feel like you are actually there. I mean, think about it for a second. In that whole description, who's the main character? It's not Pi, it's you. So how on earth does Martel pull that off? Well, he uses this really cool literary technique called direct address. It's super simple, but so effective. By constantly using the word you notice, you see, you are startled, he's essentially breaking the fourth wall. He's not just telling you a story about someone else in a zoo. He's grabbing you by the hand and guiding you through the zoo yourself. It makes the whole experience feel immediate and just incredibly immersive. Okay, now let's zoom in even closer. I mean, let's get microscopic. We can see just how masterful Martel is by looking at the huge impact of a single word choice. Remember this phrase from earlier, the riot of flowers? Now, it sounds beautiful, sure, but that word, riot, that is such a fascinating and deliberate choice. Think about it. He didn't say a garden of flowers or a field of flowers. He chose riot. So what he's doing here is using a metaphor. A riot makes you think of chaos, right? A lack of control, an overwhelming force. So by comparing the flowers to a riot, Martel is telling us something really important. This beauty isn't neat and tidy. It's wild. It's untamed. And that raw power is a little hint of the untamable nature that's going to define the entire book. And that little hint of something wild, something untamable, that is absolutely essential. Because see, up until now, we've been looking at Zootown as a total paradise. But this is where the passage really reveals its true purpose. It's setting the stage for the novel's single most important conflict.
Okay, so let's recap. The picture we get from Chapter 4 is crystal clear, right? The zoo is a place of wonder, of gentle, harmless surprises. It's that magical Zootown from Pi's childhood. But that idyllic, romantic view is about to be absolutely shattered. Just a few chapters later, in Chapter 8, Pi's father decides his son's view of animals isn't just naive, it's dangerous. And so he forces Pi to watch their tiger do something truly horrific, all to prove a brutal point. And right there, you have it, the core conflict of the entire novel, laid out for us in miniature. On one hand, you have the zoo as a paradise, this magical Zootown. On the other, the zoo is a place of pure danger, a brutal reality. So which is it? Is the world a magical paradise, or is it a brutal arena for survival? The book's answer is, it's both. And this exact same tension between appearance and reality is what Pi is going to have to grapple with every single second on that lifeboat. So all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most important idea hiding in this passage. It's not just about what's physically there in the zoo. It's about the art of seeing. It's about how we learn to actually see what's right in front of us. And you know what's wild? The passage itself gives us the clue for how to understand this whole contradiction. Remember that line about the elephant being so big you didn't notice it? I mean, isn't that an amazing thought? An elephant is massive, it's obvious, but you can still miss it entirely until you shift your perspective. The book is flat out telling us right here that reality has hidden layers. The biggest, most obvious things can be missed if you're not looking the right way. So this whole art of seeing thing is working on a few different levels. On the most basic, literal level, yeah, it's about spotting the animals that are hidden in plain sight at the zoo. But go a layer deeper, and it's about Pi's personal growth, right? Learning to look past his innocent first impressions to see how complex the world really is. And then at the very core of the novel, it sets up the big, famous question about truth itself, that choice he gives us at the end, between a brutal, ugly reality and what he calls the better story. And that right there is the question this one single passage leaves us with. A question that just echoes through the entire rest of the novel. It's not just about Pi, it challenges us to think about our own perceptions. If the world really is full of hidden elephants and competing, contradictory stories, what do you choose to focus on? What is the reality that you choose to see?